guys, what is up? It's Giovanni and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all the books that I read for the month of February. Granted, February is a short month, so I did only have a chance to get through 5 books, and I'm going to be sharing with you all the ones that I read and my thoughts about them. You can also see more of my reviews on my Goodreads channel, which I will leave down below. So the first book that I got through in the month of February was Bag of Bones by Stephen King. Sorry for the lighting. But I really enjoyed this book. I ended up giving it 4 stars. And I have been kind of on a Stephen King binge. And I think like the past 1 or 2 just weren't so great. And when I first started reading this one, it kind of had a slow start to it. And I ended up getting about halfway through the book, and then I stopped for a little bit, went to another one, got back into this book, and kind of more towards the end is when it got better. It just kind of had a slow start, but overall I love the book, and I think I've read enough of Stephen King's novels now to kind of see how they all play together within the Stephen King universe now. And so that was really cool to finally see some of them come together. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this book. I would recommend it as one of his better books. And I haven't seen, I believe it's a show, Bag of Bones, but now that I've read the book, I do really want to go into the show and see if that's better, if it maybe lives up to its expectations, or if, you know, the book was honestly probably better. So the next book that I read in the month of February was A Stranger in the House by Sherry LaPena, and I ended up giving this book 4 stars as well. But this one, you know, I've read some of her books before, and so I think because she had better books, that's why I ended up giving this one a 4 star. I've previously read her book, what was it called? The Couple Next Door, and I've mentioned this one before. Honestly, that one was definitely worth 5 stars, and I just love the whole plot of it, and then also with it having to do with motherhood. You know, it was definitely a good thriller, but she always has like crazy plot twists at the end. So you know, I really enjoy her work, and I can't wait to actually read more of her books. I think I have maybe like 1 or 2 more of hers to read, and yeah, we'll see how those go. Next book that I read was The Silent Wife by A.S.A. Harrison. This one was my first 5-star read of the year, and I truly love this book. I did mention this one in my last vlog that I just posted today, but this was my first 5-star read, and I truly love this book. Definitely has a lot of stuff having to do with an unstable marriage and revenge, and I love the crazy plot twist at the end. So I could not recommend this book enough. And it does say here on it, soon to be a major motion picture. I'm not too sure when the book was made, but I definitely want to check out the movie if it's already out. Unfortunately, the author did pass away, and so she doesn't, I mean, there's no other books that are going to be released, but I do plan on looking into her other novels that she's written, just to see if, you know, they're going to be as good as this one. So the next book that I ended up reading was Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams. And there's so much hype around this author right now because of the book No Exit that he wrote. And that one was a 5-star read for me. This one is a 5-star read for me. But No Exit was just one of the greatest books I've ever read. Like, when I tell you that I cried so freaking hard. It was such a good book, such a thriller, and just so much adrenaline when you're reading. And you don't really expect to get that in a book, but just his writing style is really well. And so with Hairpin Bridge, I did end up giving it a 5-star as well. I cried as well. Same, you know, just thriller, all this adrenaline that you get from just reading it. I could not put it down, and I think I finished it within like 2 days, which is kind of hard to do when you're a full-time working mom. But you know, I made time for it, and I wish that I could go back and read this book all over again and feel the same feelings that I felt before. But I'm not too sure exactly how many other books Taylor Adam has written, but I will definitely be looking more into his books and seeing which other ones I want to read. So even though I've been reading all these books lately, I did put it on my New Year's resolution list that no matter how many books I read, I am going to end up reading at least one nonfiction book a month. And I know January's was really good, but this one, it's called The Science of Success. It includes 3 prosperity classics, which is going to be The Science of Getting Rich, The Science of Being Well, and The Science of Being Great. This was in like the, forgot what it's called, like the $8 section at Barnes & Noble, and I saw a lot of good reviews about it, so I thought, you know, why not check it out? And I tried reading this before. I only got through maybe like the first 2 chapters, and I got bored of it. So I'm trying to finish all my books before I continue to buy more. And this one was so hard to get through. I think I gave it like a 2 stars on Goodreads, but it just dragged. I think the first part of it, The Science of Getting Rich, was really good, in my opinion. And then when it talks about being well and healthy, a lot of the stuff just did not make sense to me. And it really contradicted with like my beliefs. And then it also does talk a lot about religion and God being played into, you know, getting rich, being well, and being great, which I didn't get that in the first part of the book. And then it's like the more that you get into the book, the more it starts discussing religion. So I definitely was not expecting that. And there just wasn't any like backup. It just seemed like someone wrote a diary of how they got rich and how they're being well and feeling great. So I was really bummed about this book. I mean, I didn't have any high expectations for it, but this one was so hard to get through. And let me give you an example of one of the things that was mentioned in the book that I just definitely don't agree with. So basically in the part of being well, it's talking about your health. And they're saying that as long as you're eating well, your body's going to work just fine. And the only way to eat well is to only eat when food has been earned. So with that goes, you're not supposed to be eating breakfast. And the reason behind that is the author says you should not eat until you have earned hunger. So in the mornings when you wake up hungry, you shouldn't eat, you know, to get fuel for your day. You're supposed to work hungry, that way you have earned the food. And he did mention that with that, you end up not craving sugar, processed food. You crave wholehearted food that is going to be healthy for you. So I understand that part. Just the whole part of not having breakfast, I didn't really get. And I just feel a lot of the things that he mentioned in the book, I don't know. It's hard to put into words. I just did not like this book. And luckily there are better books to read out there that are nonfiction. And so I look forward to this month, the nonfiction book that I have planned for the month of March. So yeah, those were the 5 books that I read in February. Now the month of March is starting, and with it being a longer month and more time on my hands, I do hope to read so much more. So if you want to stick around, I will be doing one for next month as well, and I will see y'all in my next video.